So in this video, I'm going to show you a progression from doing single leg standing and single knee bending, this, into making it more of a dynamic and balanced, challenging exercise, more proprioception boosting, more strengthening through the dynamic stabilizers of your hip and through all of the chain of the leg. So, as we've done in the previous exercises, refer back to my other videos if you're not sure what I'm talking about. We're going to lift and spread our toes of the side that we want to be working on to really get this kind of widening of the foot, more engagement of the intrinsic muscles of the foot, help stabilize our foot on the floor. See if you can really get your big toe to be reaching out as far as possible towards kind of the inside direction. Yeah. So your foot is really nice and wide. We anchor down through the base of the big toe, through the base of the little toe, through the center of the heel. So we have 3 points of connection on the floor. As we root down through those, we get a sense of kind of lift up in between. So we're gently lifting all 3 arches of the foot in between those 3 points. A little bit of gentle drawing up through the front of the thigh to float the opposite leg up from the floor. Crown of the head grows up towards the sky. And from here, so we did bending the knee. Okay. And as we bend and straighten, the knee is going to try and maintain over the center of the foot, second toe, and you can feel a bit of activity through the glutes, through your bottom, the side of your hip, back here. And we're going to progress this knee bend into working our way around a clock. So you're going to imagine you're standing in the middle, in the center of a big clock on the floor. Straight in front of you is 12 o'clock, straight behind you is 6 o'clock to one side, 3 o'clock to the other side, 9 o'clock. So we're standing up tall in the middle, find ourselves rooted and stable on the ground, and this responsive growing tall as we press down to grow tall. And then bending the knee, trying to maintain this position, not letting the knee drop onto the inside. We're going to reach the opposite foot all the way forward, as far as we can go, to make our 12 o'clock as far out as we can make it, but without losing our balance. So use the rest of your body to kind of reach and stretch, and then coming back up again. So the idea is that we can bend the knee and reach out of our center of gravity to then come back up to the middle. And then we're going to reach all the way back to 4 o'clock. So the leg comes behind, crosses over the midline. So you have this twisting involved now through the spine, little twisting at the hip. Trying to maintain knee over the center of the foot, pelvis level as we reach back and across to 4 o'clock. Coming back up and then back and across to 8 o'clock. Coming back up. So those are our 3 points. Up to the middle. 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. All right, so this is making a kind of Y shape. Now you don't have to stick to 12, 4 and 8. You can go to 11 o'clock or to 1 o'clock. You can go across to 9, maybe all the way across here to 3. So that's something to kind of play with and build up as you get more and more confident. And you can also use this as a test of how is my balance? Am I able to maintain balance by reaching really far out? Because the more poor your balance and proprioception, the less far you'll be able to reach. You might find you can only really get to kind of a foot or so in front of you before you lose balance a little bit. So you're reaching as far as you can where you just tap the toe on the floor. You're not putting any weight into it. And if you want to test and retest yourself with this, you could set yourself up with a space at home where you go, right, this is where I'm always going to do this exercise. Get some washi tape or some masking tape or something. You can make a little cross and say, right, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to put the center of my foot on this cross. And then you can, as you reach out, you could maybe have little blocks or cups or that you can kind of put the furthest you can reach. And then you can always mark that off with a bit of tape. And then the next day or the next time you go to do it, you reach out And you might be able to see if you can reach further. You've got something to aim for. And you're aiming to carry on with this sense of control through the leg, always not letting the knee bend inside, keeping the knee aligned over the foot. Be able to reach out of the center all the way around the clock. Okay? And that will feed in beautifully into loads of different functional things that you do through the day. For example, just stepping up on a step but having to turn a little bit and go around a corner, or stepping down. Anytime we're turning, anytime we're having to kind of reach down and bend the knees but then maybe shift the weight onto one leg more than the other, is going to involve using these dynamic stabilizers through the hip. Okay, so good luck. There's 3 videos in this series, so you can always kind of go through them one at a time. And if you haven't watched the other 2, it might be helpful to go back and watch those first. Okay, thank you for watching.